During the period of adolescence, kids undergo a series of mental or cognitive developments that affect how they think and their interpretation of the world around them. Thinking patterns that are characteristic of adults emerge, and new intellectual abilities allow an adolescent to deal with emotions through rationalization. And basically what rationalization is how an individual explains an unpleasant or basically a bad emotion or behavior that they have in a way that will still preserve his or her self-esteem. So you failed a test, well, it's not your fault. It happened because you were distracted by your little brother playing his Xbox. Rationalization allows adolescents to remove the blame from themselves. Psychologists see the development of several problems specifically during the period of adolescence, and this occurs because adolescents have higher order thinking skills. They can think in hypotheticals, they can think abstractly, they can think from other people's point of view, but they have a limited or diminished life experience, which means they're not really sure how to navigate the real world practically, but they believe they can cognitively. And so what this causes is many adolescents become idealistic. They also become rebellious because they can compare the idealistic world they can imagine hypothetically in their head to the real world that they're experiencing, and this causes them to become disillusioned. Lastly, they can also become impatient with what adolescents interpret as the failures of adult generations. They see the behaviors that adults take, and they just can't understand why adults follow these certain patterns of behavior. Another type of development that occurs during adolescence is moral development, and we've already learned about this with Kohlberg. But what Kohlberg basically tells us is that if someone is going to develop morally beyond stage 4, some people never do, but if a person is going to look at a situation in context, develop their own ethical principles, think more about what's right and wrong than what just the law says, then this happens during adolescence. They start moving closer to stage 5 and 6. And that's because during adolescence, people learn how to think abstractly and how to see things from different people's point of view. And in order to develop morally, these things are necessary. You need these cognitive abilities to develop morally. Another interesting thing that Kohlberg tells us is that moral development will occur more during college than in high school. And he credits this fact with the diversity of college experiences and the openness and the willingness to see new things, new people, and exchange different points of view during college that you don't get during high school.